Hi everyone, I'm Heather Poduska, star maker to entrepreneurs who want to unlock their potential and command any stage. Welcome to Thrive, the show where I bring you tips, resources, and people to help you create a more abundant life and business. You are in for high-value content coming to you from industry leaders who are growing their business, making an impact, and rocking their brands. Welcome to the show. Here we go. Hi everyone, welcome to Thrive, the show where I bring you tips, resources, and people to help you create a more abundant life and business. You're in for high-value content coming to you from industry leaders who are growing their business, making an impact, and rocking their brands. I'm so excited to have my special guest today, Dan Holguin. Dan Holguin is a fitness expert, and he's the founder of the Mindset Mastery Blueprint. Dan works with people to help them master their fitness and live a more meaningful, healthy lifestyle. As a college athlete, Dan had always been into fitness, but along the way, he went off track and found himself depressed and 30 pounds overweight. And on today's show, Dan shares with us how he turned his life around, how he got the mindset of success in place, and how he transformed his body to become an American Ninja Warrior competitor. He's so great and shares great, wonderful insights on how we can be more fit and have a better mindset. We talk about his journey, about his personal story of what it was like for him to be at rock bottom. And he shares with our audience what you can do in that moment if you are in that place in your life where there is nowhere to go but up, and you don't feel like you even deserve to be here. Dan shares with us what turned his mindset around and how you can change your mindset. He also shares with us what fitness took him out of that depression, what rituals and routines in his fitness were the first things that he did to turn the ship right. We also talk about what it was like to be an American Ninja Warrior, why some people really succeed and why some people just crash in the water first off, and what you can do if you have a big performance coming up to get your mind in the right place. And finally, Dan gives us some great tips on how we can get our mindset straight. He talks to us about energy and how to manage our energy. And for you ladies out there, how to get that upper body strength so you have the ripped arms without hurting yourself. Dan is an awesome guest. I'm so excited to have him on the show, and I'm sure you're going to love him as well. I also want to let you know about my new programs that are coming out. They're out now. If you are someone who wants to create a powerful personal brand, if you want people to drop your name in influencer circles, if you want to get paid to be yourself and be on stages and make more money from your appearances, check out my new programs in my website. You can go to heatherpoduska.com, and it's under the consulting tab. There are 3 different programs there. So if you want to define your brand, make more money, have a profit strategy so you can profit from your appearances in the media and on stage, check it out. Okay, now on to the show. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Thrive. Hey everybody, we are live. Welcome to this episode of Thrive. Thrive is the show I bring you tips, resources, and people to help you create a more abundant life and business. I am Heather Poduska, and I'm bringing to you industry leaders who are growing their business, making an impact, and rocking their brands. And I'm so excited to have my guest here today because he is definitely rocking his brand. Dan Holguin is a fitness expert and the founder of the Mindset Mastery Blueprint. Dan works to help people master their fitness and live a more meaningful, health-minded lifestyle. As a collegiate athlete, Dan had always been into fitness, but hadn't properly developed his mindset to be truly successful. It wasn't until Dan suffered a deep personal loss and found himself 30 pounds overweight that life gave him a wake-up call, and the call turned it all around for him. Dan found his purpose, he changed his body, and he even appeared as an America Ninja Warrior competitor. We're going to hear all about that. Now, Dan specializes in helping entrepreneurs develop their bodies and their minds for success while also raising his beautiful daughter in Montana. Thank you so much for being here, Dan.
I'm so excited to be here, Heather. Thank you for having me, girl.
I'm really excited. I think it's so cool that you and I met through a coach that specialized in helping entrepreneurs and fitness experts. And I am not a fitness expert.
Yeah.
But I love that because I'm an entrepreneur and you're a fitness expert who works with entrepreneurs. So it's a really kind of cool way for us to connect.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. So you are an athlete, like wicked fit. You're doing American Ninja, you're climbing, walls and rocks and doing all kinds of things. But it wasn't the case a few years back that you were in this great shape, right? In the intro, I said that you were a collegiate athlete, but, I'm wondering why it wasn't a straight trajectory for you to go, college athlete, fitness coach, rock star, ninja warrior. I mean, there was a detour. So tell us a little bit about your path.
Yeah. Okay. So my background has always been fitness. Like that's been something that I've always done since I was little. I've always been active, always been doing stuff. But it wasn't until like around 2013 that everything really changed for me because, like looking back on that, even though my background had always been in fitness, I had taken a construction job working long hours out of town, away from my family. But I justified this because it allowed us to live comfortably. I mean, I made good money and it supported our family. So I think in a way I was settling for less than I was worth.
Mm.
And around that same time, in 2013, I was going over to a friend of mine's house, my best friend, my mentor, my coach. I mean, this man was everything to me. And I went over to his house. I started knocking at his door, and I couldn't get a hold of him. He wasn't coming to the door, so I kind of was trying to figure out where he was. Well, I ended up having to go inside and kick the door down and find him. And when I went down the stairs into his bedroom, that's kind of when everything shifted for me because where I thought he was just sleeping in bed, as I pulled back the covers, I found him dead. And that was really the start of everything that spiraled downhill for me. And so at that point, I never really believed in post-traumatic stress. I never really believed in depression because in my mind, I was like, well, how can somebody not have control over their own thoughts, over their own emotions and actions? And it wasn't until then that I realized that, this is a real thing and I was struggling heavy. And like you said, I had gained 30 pounds. I had spent every dollar I had. I had racked up every credit card I had. I'd maxed every one of them out. And I had no control over everything. I mean, it sounds like a country song, but really that was over the course of like 6 months. And not only
Wait, did you have a dog that died? If you had a dog that died, that's really a big number.
I didn't have a dog that died, but my mom was in prison. No, I'm just kidding. That didn't happen. That didn't happen.
Okay.
But that was the start of everything, yeah.
Wow.
And that was over about a 6-month period.
So you're in this dark place. What was the light bulb? What was the light bulb that said, I'm going to change this. I'm going to turn this around. And also, how did you find like the courage or the hope to say, I can change this?
So I'll answer the second question first. I got to this point where, like I said, I'm 30 pounds heavier than I've ever been in my life. And all I've ever known is fitness. And I realized that I was at my bottom. Like there was no lower that I can get. Like I'll be really honest with you and share this, but there was a time that same year where I sat in a parking lot in my hometown. Oh, sorry. And I had put a gun to my head because I didn't feel like I could get any lower. I didn't feel like my life I didn't feel like I deserved to live anymore. And so at that point is kind of where everything came to realization for me that I couldn't get any lower than that. And answering your first question, I got a call one day from a friend of mine, and he said, Dan, I've got this guy who wants to start working with a personal trainer. Do you want to work with him? And, at that point, I hadn't been with clients in like 5 years because I had taken that construction job I was telling you about. And so I just felt so far gone. I'm out of shape. My head is a disaster. My life is a mess. But something in my heart in that moment said, go for it. And so I just said, yep, sign me up. I'm your guy. And, within that 2-minute phone call, I had my first paying client in 5 years.
Wow. Wow.
So yeah, like, talk about anxiety and stress and all of these different emotions to add on top of what I was already going through. It was crazy.
Yeah, but something inside of you said yes, right?
Absolutely.
Took, and you took that. And thank you so much for sharing that. I mean, it's so important that people hear that, because somewhere someone is having those same feelings about their life right now.
Yeah.
Right? And for them to know that they're not alone, and that there's a path out, and that everybody deserves to live. And I think the beautiful thing about your story, Dan, is your life has so much meaning, not just for your life, for your family, for your beautiful daughter, who I see, but your life has had this meaning for the ripple effect of all of the lives that you've touched. I think the slogan should be all lives matter, right? All lives matter.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I love that. And now that you've changed your trajectory, and your story is helping other people. It's helping. Well, tell me, does telling your story now, every time it brings up those emotions, does that help you to tell the story?
Absolutely. Because like you just said, I know that somebody else is struggling, and I know that those people probably aren't talking about it. So it's empowering for me to share because it helps me move past it, and it helps me grow from it, but it also gives people the opportunity to grow from their story as well, in their situation.
So if someone is listening right now and they're at that place and they're at the bottom, what would you say to them right now? Like, for where they are right in that moment, what would you say to them?
You're stronger than you think. Yeah, you're stronger than you think.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So you got the call. You decided to work with this person, but you're still 30 pounds overweight when you take the phone call.
Yes.
Yes. So how did you start to transform your body and your health and all of the things that you needed to transform? What was the first step?
Well, besides the being overwhelmed with stress and anxiety to transform somebody else's life while mine was still in shambles, I went for a run. Like, I just went straight to the mountains, and I'm like, oh my God, I got to run some of this stress off. I gotta start losing weight because I got to change this person's life, and I'm a mess. So I just started running. I went right to the mountains and started running. That was the very first thing I did as soon as I hung up the phone.
Wow. And anybody can do that, right? Anybody can put on a pair of tennis shoes. And that's sort of the beauty of exercise, right? That it releases those endorphins. And you can talk about taking action in your business, but you don't always know what that next piece, like, should I do a Facebook ad? Should I, go to this networking event? But the action that you can take when you want to get into fitness is all you have to do is walk out your front door and start moving your body, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I have to tell you, I ran this morning a little bit because I knew we were going to be talking today. So, like, if I'm going to be talking to Dan, I'm going to run this morning.
Atta girl. How'd it go? How did you feel?
Great. I'm starting to get back into shape. I had walking pneumonia for 5 weeks in April, and I couldn't really exercise or do anything, so I'm just starting to get back, and like, oh, it feels so good. Feels good. Have those endorphins running.
Absolutely. And, running has transformed into this thing that I do now where because of the endorphins, because of all the good hormones flowing, it has been like the most creative time that I have throughout my whole day. And so the
Yes.
more I run, the more ideas and the more thoughts come to me that I can use in my business to grow and to help others and, the impact.
Absolutely. I mean, I always say if I have a treadmill and a hot jam, I can do
Yeah,
everything, right?
I I
You get
agree.
so you can get so high, and like the oxygen is running to your brain. You get in the rhythm, the flow.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. I call it my altar because people go to church, they go to the whatever, they go to the ashram, I go to the treadmill.
Yeah.
But I love what you just said about how the ideas come to you and then you take that into your business. So I want to shift a little bit and see what does fitness do for entrepreneurs? Because I know that you specialize in working with entrepreneurs. Why is it important for an entrepreneur to embrace a healthy lifestyle?
Because I think it's really easy for people that own their own businesses to just dive in 24/7 to that one thing. I mean, because entrepreneurs are only really doing what they really love, right? What they're passionate about. And it's easy to fall into that hole. And so fitness is so important because it gives, number one, your mind a break, but it also allows you to focus on the aspects that you may be neglecting, like your health, like your stamina, your mental endurance. But it's so important that we take care of our bodies as well as our business.
And I know that one of the things you're really passionate about talking about as well is managing your energy.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
So
absolutely.
what does it mean to manage your energy? Why
Well,
is it important?
it just means it's so important to me because I saw something the other day that was that people have these things and we have all of these possessions and we're so quick to guard our possessions, but we're also so quick to just give away our time. And I think it should be the other way around. I
Mm,
think we should be savagely managing and protecting our time while just giving away our things or our possessions. It should be the opposite. And so to me, managing my time is so important and managing my energy is so important because I know that if I give to myself first and I fill my cup first, that I can give with the overflow and everybody around me is going to be in such a better place because I took care of me first.
yeah, I love that. And also in your business, I think when they're starting out, they don't really grasp the concept that you are the prize. That
Yeah,
people that they're going to pay for is your time and your creative energy, your creative thought process, like your
yeah,
ideas and your strategies. So your time is actually incredibly valuable
yeah,
access to you. So I love that and from a business perspective, but from a physical perspective too. How do we manage our energy? How do we manage it so that we wake up, we have the energy and the creativity to make things, to interact in the way that we want to, and that we develop, systems and rituals to give us rest. How do we do that?
I think first it starts with awareness. Like for me personally, I realize that I'm a people pleaser by nature. Like that's just me. And to know that I'm a recovering people pleaser now has really helped me to manage my energy. Now I can have that thought at the forefront when somebody asks for, say, 10 minutes of my time to think, okay, if I give this 10 minutes, how is it going to affect the rest of my day? How is it going to affect my overall well-being? So it's really important for me that I only do what is going to serve me and the people around me most. And it may sound selfish at first, and because I'm a recovering people pleaser, it's been difficult to say no to people because when you're in a space like I am in fitness, everybody wants your help, right?
Right.
It sometimes hurts when you have to tell somebody no because you're basically like the life and the love right off of their face when you have to say no, but you're doing it because they're really helped me to have awareness around the fact that my energy is more valuable than
So I totally agree with that. And I think it's a question also of valuing your time, valuing yourself, right? It's saying no to other people because you're working on bigger and better things, and prioritizing your time because you're prioritizing your vision, right? And I know that like you have a vision of helping, is it 100 million people live more healthy lifestyles?
Yes, 100 million people over the course of my life through different avenues, through my coaching, through my podcast, my books, speaking, all of these different avenues.
Yeah. So if you're going to be doing all those things, you can't say yes to everything.
No, even though you want to help everybody.
See, but that's why people like you, Dan, and that's why they want to work with you, because they sense that you want to be of service and help them. I think that it's you can call it a bad thing to be a people pleaser, or you can embrace it as a really cool quality that you have that's magnetic, that people are drawn to. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. So why do you like working with entrepreneurs versus like people who want to be athletes or, of clientele, but why entrepreneurs specifically?
I love working with entrepreneurs because they're already so motivated, so driven, so focused that they just need to be shown the action plan. Like they already have everything in place other than, okay, how do I make this happen for my health? And my gift, my like unique talent is the action plan and working with people one on one. Like somebody could come to me with any fitness goal and I can get the action plan in place for them like that and make that a success.
So do you work custom? So if I walked in, you'd say, Heather, this is, based on your age and your fitness level, this is what I would do for you. It's not like a one size fits all.
No, it's very unique. Yeah, it's very unique. And it also varies between men and women. So yeah, that's my unique talent, is being able to put together an action plan for every different type of person. But I specifically like working with entrepreneurs because they're already so driven, they're already so motivated to change, and I love that.
Yeah. Your fitness, I love, first of all, that it's in the mountains. Go to Dan's website and look at the picture. Follow him on Instagram, on Facebook, wherever you can see, because he posts the most beautiful pictures. What was it, a bear that you ran past the other day?
Yeah, I actually ran into him. Yeah.
No way. Oh.
So, yeah, I ran into him. I was about 10 feet from him. And that's the thing with trail running is you don't just like casually walk upon wildlife, because you're moving so quick, you end up scared, like both of you get scared because you just meet so abruptly and you just got to kick into, survival mode and go through your steps to make sure that, your presence is known and you respect theirs. And so, yeah.
Yo, bear. I give you props.
Yeah. Exactly.
So what are some tips for someone who hates the gym? Like someone who hates the gym, like you're the perfect person to give like some tips because you embrace your environment. You are out there with nature, communing with nature. And because of American Ninja Warrior, I know that you're doing all kinds of unique, things. So how can someone like who hates the gym embrace exercise and make it their own?
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I think that you got to figure out why you hate the gym. Do you dislike the gym because you're afraid to work out in front of other people? Do you hate the gym because you don't like exercise, period? Like if you know exactly why you hate the gym, then there's different avenues you can take. If you dislike the gym because you don't like working out in a public setting around other people, then I would say work out at the house where you're in the comfort of your own home. You have, unlimited body weight movements you could be doing. So there's ways around it. If you don't like going to the gym because you just don't like exercise, then I would say go for a walk, go hike, take your kids out, go play in the backyard with them. Like there are so many different avenues that you can go down that don't involve a gym. Mm-hmm. Instead of making the excuse that I don't like to work out or I don't like being in public.
Yeah, I like that. I like, it's kind of like, was it Jerry Seinfeld's wife who had the cookbook about how to hide the vegetables in the food?
Right? I never saw episode.
So no, it's not an episode. It's his real wife. She made a cookbook
Oh, really?
on how to hide food, how to hide veggies in your food, so your kids will eat the food that has the vegetables in it. So it's kind of like that with the, if you can kind of trick yourself into exercising if you don't like it by doing something you actually love, like playing with your kids. That's active as well. I like that a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. There's ways around it for sure.
Okay. So I actually like going to the gym because I like to see other people exercising. It motivates me to see someone else like, oh, they're still, they're going 10 more minutes. I'm going 10 more minutes.
Yes.
Although I have a gym pet peeve. My pet peeve is when there are, and we have an audience now, so I can share it. When there are like 10 treadmills in a row and they're all empty and I'm on one and someone right next to me. And
I hear that. Yeah.
Dude, there are 10 other treadmills right here. Like, I must have some powerful pheromones because they're like, no, I want to be right next to you on that treadmill. So aside from that, I'm good at the gym.
Well, you have that magnetic personality, I think, and that's why people are into you. Yeah.
Although I'm not very chatty at the gym. I'm like,
I'm not even. And that's another thing. If you notice people that have headphones in, that's like this universal gym sign that says, I don't want to be talked to. Leave me alone because this is my time. This is my protecting my energy space. So if you're watching this, try to avoid talking to people with headphones in because they're there to protect their energy. And that's what the headphones mean.
That's actually a really good tip, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, and if you're watching, exercise next to me. So I wanted to also ask you about America Ninja Warrior Competition. My kids, they love that show. So how did you get involved with that?
Ninja Warrior, okay, so I'll take you back to 2015. This is my third year doing it.
You took your third year competing?
Yeah.
Wow.
2015, I had a client who she was like, hey, Dan, check out this video. And it was one of the contestants running through the course. And I was watching it, and I had kind of heard about Ninja Warrior, but I really didn't know exactly what it was. And so as I'm watching this video, she's like, you should do this. And I started watching some of the obstacles, and I'm like, yeah, I think I could do that. I may be able to do that. I don't know about that one. But so I started trying things. I was really raw, and I just started trying different obstacles that I had, made up at the house. And I found out that I had some talent there. Like I didn't have a lot, but I had this raw talent. And all I needed to do was just kind of develop the skills around the talent. And so that's what I did. I just started focusing on my grip strength. I started focusing on agility and different things like that. And I ended up applying for my first season, which is 2015. And I was picked right away for it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So I need to know, like, you are obviously in great shape, and most of the people that go are fitness people, and they're in really great shape. And then there are people that just, like, they get on the first obstacle and they crash and burn. So why is it so much harder? I really want to know the answer to this. When you're training and you are clearly training hard and you get to the competition, and then it's like some people that you think are going to do great, they fall in the first couple of things, and people you would never imagine are, hitting the button at the end. So why is that?
I think it's for a few different things. Number one is it's a lot different when you're training in the comfort of your own gym with the familiarity of the obstacles that you know that you can do versus being up all night. And I'll pause real quick because that's something a lot of people don't know about Ninja Warrior is that we film all night long from sundown to sunup. And so a lot of times people just aren't used to training and running and being active at 3, 4, 5 a.m. So that's one thing. But also, too, you got to think like there are bright lights all around you. Fireworks are going off. People are screaming from the crowd. You're 46 feet up in the air at times. So there's so many different factors that come into play when you're on the big stage. And I think that sometimes gets to people as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So do you have a ritual? Because that's true when when I coach people on performance, one of the things I
Yeah.
say, one of my, past clients just did a talk and she was in front of 900 people and she had never been in a crowd. And she's like, Heather, what do I do? I'm freaking out. I'm like, do not, this is a tip, do not chat in the green room.
Yes.
Not chat in the green, that is your
Yeah.
time to before party. Don't chat with everybody before. You are there to perform, so you need to focus your energy. So do you do that, or do you have a ritual to do that to prepare?
I do, yeah, and this could be something that you could use in fitness. This could be something that you use in your business, like if you're going on stage to speak or coming online to do a podcast or a TV show. I say one thing to myself, and I just say it over and over and over. And all I say is, "This is what I do. This is what
Mm,
I do. This fitness stuff, these obstacles, this monkey stuff. This is what I do." Like, and for me, that takes away all of the lights. It takes away all of the loud noises. It takes away being up at 5 a.m. And it just allows me to focus and realize that this is what I do.
yeah, I love that. And I was talking to somebody yesterday, and she was saying, "Oh, there's this thing I really want to go to, but I can't because I have to go do this other thing where I'm going to be performing." And I was like, uh, it to that, like, I have this opportunity. I'm scared, but I get to do this. I get to be an American Ninja. I get to speak. I get to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah,
And you don't get those big things without going through that fire, that circle of fire of nerves
yeah,
and fear. So I love
absolutely.
that.
And to think about the difference in context between I have to do this versus I get to do this. Like, I get to go and do this activity, which puts, I think, a foundation of gratitude on you, and just
Yeah.
puts you in a better position to win.
Right, right. So what did you learn from that experience?
The first time I did it,
All times, like, what have you learned? I mean, what have you learned it from the first time, but why do you keep going back, and what does it mean to you, and what are you learning, what are you getting from that?
the biggest thing that I see in Ninja Warrior is it's like this incredible platform to prove to myself that I can overcome obstacles, right? I know it sounds cheesy, but for
Oh,
a
I love
guy that was in that parking lot, for a guy that was 30 pounds overweight, for a guy that was, 40K in credit card debt, to keep proving to myself that I can overcome obstacles and face my fear and still come out on top. Um, it's just like this high that I can never get enough of.
I
I
love
love being able to prove to myself that I can do it despite everything that I've been
oh, I got chills on that. Wow.
through. Yeah.
So if you are not a candidate for American Ninja Warrior, I would not be a candidate. What are some, like, say you're an entrepreneur, what would be some obstacles, some good challenges that you might tell people to try to prove to themselves, to keep that mojo going, to keep that motivation going?
Well, one of the biggest things is to do these like mini challenges, and this is something that I do pretty regularly. Is I'll think of one thing that's out of my comfort zone to do for 30 days, whatever it may be. So, for example, like my challenge coming up right now is it starts next month. Is I'm going to train hard for 30 days to ride a bull. Okay,
Ride a
and
bull?
yeah, now this is something that I have a history with. So I've done it before, but I haven't done it since those kids.
Okay.
But I train hard for a month, and then I'm going to ride a bull. And I think that if we can focus on these mini challenges from time to time, it doesn't need to be physical or adrenaline seeking, but to just put yourself outside of your comfort zone, train hard for something, and then accomplish, I think it just does so much for your confidence, self esteem, and it motivates you to continue to build the business and impact people.
I love that. And I love that it's 30 days.
30
Because if you
days.
told me I had to train for 6 months to do, a half marathon, it would be
Yeah,
too overwhelming
sure.
for me. 30 days and a small, achievable, but reach goal, I can do that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And
You can
so
do
I love I love that it's riding a bull. So I also would like, I think that to add to the tip is that it should be something enjoyable, like,
Sure.
or something that would be uniquely fulfilling to you.
Correct.
That's
Absolutely.
a better way to say it. Uniquely fulfilling, not just, so like a brag point, right?
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, I like that. Wow. So where are you going to ride this bull?
Well, because I'm in Montana, there's places, all over, but I have a friend who owns a few bulls who I grew up with in high school. Actually, I didn't grow up, but in high school we met. And when I first moved to Montana, he was my first friend. And because he had bulls, I started riding bulls with him, and he still has them. So I'm going to go out to his house.
Wow, that's awesome. I
And
love
I
it.
get to take my daughter with me, which is cool.
Oh, that's so awesome. And Dan's daughter is the most adorable, fit.
Yeah,
How old is she? 8? 9?
she's 9.5.
9.5?
Yeah,
Oh,
she'd
she
be
is
mad if I didn't put
adorable.
the half in there.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
So, and it's so obvious how in love you are with each other. Oh my God. It's so moving to see
Yes.
you guys together. So what has that experience brought you and changed your life being a dad?
Oh, it's been incredible. Let me give you the backstory first because a lot of people don't know this. But Daisha is not my biological daughter.
Oh, really?
Daisha is not. No. So when I moved back to Montana after finishing my career in football, I met her mother. And at the time, Daisha was about a year and a half. And she was still in diapers. She's still with her binky and could barely talk. And that's when I first came into her life. And from that point on, like from day one, we've never had an awkward moment, a dull moment. Like we've just been besties since then. Um, so that experience has just been incredible because I've okay, I've never really been able to. How do I put this? I've never been able to connect with somebody like I have with her.
Hmm.
And it may come off weird, but the connection that I have with her is so deep and so powerful. Like her and I are open books to each other and can express ourselves however we want without feeling insecure, without feeling awkward. Like the connection her and I have is unreal. And it's
Hmm.
just been such a learning thing for me too, because it allows me to understand people on a deeper level, which I think helps me to interact with other kids, interact with other adults, people in my business, people in my circle. It's been incredible.
Yeah, yeah, it's amazing. It's palpable. It's palpable, and
Yeah,
yeah, it's super cool. And I know that you do a lot of speaking for kids as well, right? You speak to kids groups,
what's that?
and you speak to kids as well. Like you do a lot of work with kids, right?
Absolutely. A lot of work with kids. Yeah.
So I think you should do your own American Ninja Junior program.
Ooh. See, and this is what I love about you. Like you're always thinking ahead. You're always thinking of things like that. But I have a program and it's called Ninja Kids.
Oh, perfect. Okay, good. I'm glad. I didn't know that. Well, there you go. It's perfect.
You always have these great ideas, though. I have a program called Ninja Kids, and it's a camp for kids age 7 to 11 that want to learn how to do obstacles that they see on TV. But the cool thing is, like, as a byproduct of just doing these obstacles, the bigger picture is that kids are leaving my camps with more confidence, more self-esteem, less fear. I mean, it's incredible.
Is it a sleepaway camp? Like, can you send your kids overnight?
Nope, it's a 4 week camp. So
Can
we
I
do it.
send my kids to Montana?
You can absolutely bring them on. I got some tents in the backyard they can sleep in. They love it.
That's awesome. So you have
Yeah.
your Ninja Kids. What other things do you have going on right now? So people tell us where people can find you, how we can support you, what programs you have.
Well, I'm really active here on Facebook. I do a video series every every other day, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, where I'm helping people with different aspects of their mindset as it relates to health, fitness, and I'm also on Instagram as well. And you can find me on Instagram at Dan Holguin, just as my name is spelled. And those are the two platforms that I'm most active on.
They really want to work with you, get some of that one-on-one juju.
Yeah, absolutely. I would go to Facebook. Facebook would be the best place for us to first connect about business. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So 2 last questions, and the first one is the double one. So what's one tip that you can give us for mindset as entrepreneurs to really develop that success and champion ninja warrior mindset? And the other one is totally selfish. It's a fitness question.
Yeah.
Because a lot of my audience is women, how can women develop their upper body strength safely?
Ooh. Okay.
No, because as you get older, that like you get the wings and you don't get that position.
Yes. Yes.
But it's really I find it very challenging to do pull-ups.
Okay. Pull-ups are so difficult. Absolutely. Okay. So first question. The first question, the answer that I have would be to ask yourself, what am I willing to go through to get what I want? Whether it's fitness or business, it doesn't matter. Like, what struggles, what sacrifices, what pains am I willing to go through to get what I want? I think that's a better question than just asking, what do I want? Because there's always going to be a commitment or sacrifice you're going to have to make. And I think that's the bigger question.
Do you think you know that before you start out on the path?
No, I don't. No, I don't think you know it. But you have to know what you're willing to go through.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like that. It makes it real.
Yeah, absolutely. Because at some point that sacrifice or hardship is going to come up, and you're going to have to go back to that conversation you had with yourself and ask yourself, am I really wanting this? Do I really want it that way?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the second question, the best way to increase upper body strength for women, especially with pull-ups, is two parts. Number one, if you're going to get better at pull-ups, you've got to use a pull-up band. And this is like a big, long, stretchy rubber band. A lot of gyms have them, but you can loop it over the bar, and then you can put your feet in it. Oh. And it allows you to get some assistance with the pull-up. So that's the short answer.
Is the band better than the platform that you put your feet on, or is it the same? Because I've seen
different.
It's different. Okay.
Yeah, the platform is cool, but I think that you'll get a better benefit and you'll get stronger by using the band first.
Okay, so you wrap it around the bar and around your feet?
Correct. Yes. Okay. And then the second part of it is to just message me, because I have a video that I put together on how to get better at pull-ups and get better upper body strength at a very basic level. And in fact, I can even send you the link for it as well if you want to post it. And people can just have.
I'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Take this video for free, learn from it, and grow.
Duh. I'm just going to message Dan. What else would I do? It's awesome. Oh my God, it's been so fun. I can't believe we're at the end, but I want to thank you so much for coming on and really acknowledge you for your journey and really following the call, that deeper call, and paying attention, and whatever that was, if it was your inner voice, God, whatever that said, no, you deserve to be here, and I have something bigger for you that you just felt. So I applaud you for following that, and I'm so grateful that you are here, and you're such a light, and obviously, generous and kind and helpful, and I just very, very, very glad that our circle's interconnected. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you as well.
Awesome.
Thank you.
One last question. So what does it mean to you, Dan, to thrive?
It means that regardless of the circumstance, regardless of where you've been, regardless of any struggle you've been through, the fact that you are still here is just a testament to your real strength, and that no matter what it is that you're going through, you're stronger than you think.
You're stronger than you think. I love that. I love that. Awesome. Thank you so, so much. Thank you. Namaste, babe. All right. Thank you guys for joining us. Until next time, here is to hitting all your high notes. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hi, everyone. It's Heather again. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Thrive. Every week we try to bring you people and information to help you change your life for the better, to grow your business, to expand your thinking, and to open your heart. If you did enjoy this content, I would so appreciate it if you would go to iTunes and review us. Let us know how we're doing. We'd love to hear your thoughts and your feedback. And if you found this information helpful or useful in any way, please share it on out. Let your friends and family know about Thrive. And finally, if you'd like to know more about me, you can visit me at heatherpoduska.com. Until next time, here's to hitting all your high notes.